Okay, so what if we could take our body's own defense system and just give it a super-powered upgrade to fight cancer? Well, it sounds like science fiction, right? But some new research suggests we're getting way closer than you might think. Let's dive into this because it's a really fascinating breakthrough.
So the big takeaway from this research is, well, it's pretty incredible. Scientists have figured out that by blocking just one single protein, they can basically supercharge our own immune cells. We're talking more powerful, more resilient, and way more effective at hunting down and destroying cancer.
And what's so cool about this is it's not about creating some new drug to just, carpet bomb cancer cells. Nope. This is all about upgrading the body's own natural defenses. It's a much smarter, more precise way to think about cancer therapy.
So you've got this international team, right? Led by scientists at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. And they found that by tweaking how certain cells manage their energy, they could just dramatically boost their cancer-killing power. So let's talk about the cells at the very heart of this.
Right? The heroes of our immune system, and really the stars of this whole story, are our T cells.
So you can think of T cells as the special forces of your immune system. Their whole job is to patrol your body 24/7, hunting down and taking out threats. They're absolutely essential. But here's the problem. When they're up against something as tough and relentless as cancer, they can get exhausted, they just get overwhelmed.
And this is where the big breakthrough comes in. Researchers basically found a hidden off switch inside these T cells, and they figured out how to flip it, unleashing their full, raw potential. The key player here, the thing that is the off switch, is a protein called antro-2. The best way to think about it is like a governor on an engine, It's a natural brake that keeps the T cell from going totally into overdrive and burning itself out. But when you're in a fight for your life against cancer, that brake is a huge problem.
So the whole process is actually, beautifully simple when you break it down. You've got this protein, ANT2, that's limiting the T cell's power. Step 2, scientists block it, and the result? Boom, the T cell is completely unleashed. It becomes a supercharged cancer-killing machine. And don't just take my word for it. The lead researcher, Professor Michael Berger, he called it a complete shift in how these cells use energy. So we're not talking about a small adjustment here. This is a fundamental reprogramming that just makes them way, way better at their job.
So how does this actually work, on a deep biological level? Well, it all comes down to the cell's internal engine.
Okay, remember high school biology? This whole process goes down inside the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. What these researchers did was essentially rewire that power supply. They forced the T cells to change their metabolism, which puts them into this heightened state of alert, always ready to go.
And the results of this rewiring? Well, it's pretty much a trifecta of awesome improvements. These supercharged T cells showed way better endurance, so they could keep fighting longer. They multiplied faster, building up an army of cancer fighters. And they got much more precise at targeting just the cancer cells.
Okay, this is all fantastic science, right? It's amazing stuff. But the big question, the one that always matters most is, can this actually help people? How do we take this from the lab and get it into a real-world treatment? And that brings us to what might be the most exciting part of this whole thing, the path from this discovery to actual future therapies.
So check this out. One of the most important findings is how this can actually be applied. At first, they had to do some really complex genetic modification to get this to work. But then, the team figured out that the same exact change could be triggered with drugs. And that is huge. Absolutely massive. Because it makes creating a real-world therapy so much more possible.
So if there's one big idea to take away from all this, it's that this research is part of a much bigger trend in immunotherapy. We're moving beyond just pointing the immune system at a target. Now we're learning how to upgrade its entire operating system, making our own body's defenses smarter, stronger, and way more efficient. And Professor Berger's final thought really just nails the whole promise of this research. It's all about controlling the power source of our own cells to unlock therapies that are not only more natural, but also hopefully way more effective. It really makes you wonder, right? What other hidden switches like this are just waiting to be discovered inside our own biology?